Yo, what's going on, everyone? We're back at it with another Prize Picks video, and I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all an early two-man play for Thursday night football. For Thursday night's football game, we got the Buffalo Bills going up against the Miami Dolphins, and we're gonna go ahead and first of all talk about how yesterday's plays went, and then of course we want to go ahead and break down the Jets, and we're even gonna break down the Bears, right? But first, we're gonna start off with breaking down the Jets, how their schedule looks like, and then what the analysis is of what we saw yesterday. But man, George Kittle was literally 4 yards away from catching the free play that I sent out last night. He ended up getting 40 receiving yards, and we needed him to get 44. If the Jets would have kept it a little bit more competitive and maybe scored an extra touchdown, then we could have probably seen Kittle cash that for us. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Brees Hall got the over 27.5 receiving yards easily with getting 39 receiving yards. I think that Brees Hall over receiving yards below 30 is money every single time. So every single time we see Brees Hall receiving yards under 30, we got to go ahead and lock it in. Just because you saw how much Aaron Rodgers is the type of quarterback where he's going to pick a guy or two and just be like, all right, I'm going to just look for you every single time, right? And he had, obviously, not every quarterback has the skill sets to do that, but Aaron Rodgers isn't Aaron Rodgers. He could decipher a defense just by looking at him, man. He knows when they should be rushing, when they should be backing up. So Aaron Rodgers is legit, of course, right? He's been doing this for many, many years. But man, it was just a tough day yesterday. I mean, even I sent this out on the VIP yesterday, so this one couldn't cash, man. It's just a week of unders, unfortunately. Brock Purdy almost went over. It wouldn't even matter because Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, they were on a hot one in the beginning, in the first half, right? Like it took them a little while to warm up, right? And then in the second quarter, then they started picking up steam, right? And then they started kind of moving the ball. Garrett Wilson was getting these crazy, awesome catches, right? Even though he was getting double teamed, he was still making the receptions and getting the yards for us. Cool thing about Garrett Wilson, although he's going to be double teamed for the majority of the time that he's going to be playing, he actually is number one in catches against double coverage, right? Literally number one last season in catches and getting catches against double coverage. And that of course was with shitty quarterbacks, a carousel of about, maybe 3 or 4 quarterbacks that he was working with. This time he has Aaron Rodgers just throwing piss missiles right in the middle of his chest. That was kind of gross. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers he's legit, man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. He still look good out there. Obviously, it's the first time the offense is playing together. And it was the first time Aaron Rodgers, I think, played a full game in maybe over 2 years, which is insane to say and think about because he's about to be 41 this year in December. And like he hasn't played a game that was his first game since like 38 years old, right? And honestly, 41, 38, that's a big difference, man. That's a big difference. So I mean, we're gonna go ahead and cash them out, man. Let's go ahead, let's bounce back. We're gonna bounce back this week. I know some of y'all like hating on what we do here, but it's all right. If you got haters, that means you're doing something right? I just think it's kind of crazy and funny how when we're up, we're winning. A lot of people they don't like commenting, right? They don't like engaging in the comment section. But as soon as we lose, your little Twitter fingers, you're rushing to the keyboard to go ahead and comment some bullshit. So I get it. We as humans, we like to go ahead and put people down more than we like to lift them up. But it's cool, man. I mean, I'm here to go ahead and make y'all a shit ton of money. And actually, the hater comments actually fire me up because I like to prove people wrong. I've done it my whole life, and I'm gonna continue doing that shit. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about that. So if y'all don't know, I went ahead and I have this play that I have on DraftKings that I went ahead and followed my boy SBE, Sports Betting Education, Cody. So we took Miami, Florida to win the ACC, Utah to win the Big 12, and then the Jets to get over 10.5 regular season wins. Do y'all think that's going to happen? Let me know. And then the Bears to get over 8.5 season wins, right? So we need I put $300 to win $10,000. It sounds crazy to say, but I think Utah and Miami winning their conferences It's money, man. I really think it's money. I think the biggest one is well, it's these two right here. Even though those should be easy ones, but let's go over the Jets schedule. So obviously they lost against the 49ers. They should beat the brakes off the Tennessee Titans, right? And then the Titans. I know what I said, right? New England Patriots. Unless we got some crazy shit that we had against the Bengals, right? They should beat them. So by week at the end of week 3, going to week 4, they should be 2-1, right? And then they go over and play the Denver Broncos. Where is this? This is in MetLife, so this is at home, right? So then, boom, let's go. Let's give them 3-1, right? The Jets to be 3-1 going into week 5, and in week 5 they play the Minnesota Vikings, my team, man. This one's gonna be bittersweet because for my bet, I want the Jets to win, right? But as a homer, as a Minnesota Vikings fan, man, I really want the Vikings to beat Aaron Rodgers using Sam Darnold. That'd be insane. It's kind of insane how the NFL is with their schedules and the matchups. This type of shit makes you feel like it's scripted. It's like you got the Minnesota Vikings going up against the New York Jets, who oddly enough have a lot of player crossover, right? Where it's like Vikings players will go to the Jets, Jets players will go to the Vikings, and vice versa, right? And then in this case, we got Aaron Rodgers, who has played the Vikings his entire career, twice a year, so he knows them very, very well. Even though he's never played against the Brian Flores defense. And they're playing. There's not a home game for any of the teams. I actually think this might be a home game for the Vikings because the Vikings actually have a huge UK following, man, like huge. So I think there's gonna be a lot of Vikings fans out there in Tottenham Hotspur, right? So I think this is gonna be a pseudo Vikings home game. And I'm gonna go ahead just based off that Jets defense. That Jets defense is nasty. They're gonna keep getting better. So I don't know. This will be a tough one for the Vikings. I'm gonna go ahead and be a truther and just give it to the Jets. Although deep down inside, I want to say the Vikings will win it. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the Jets, just because that Jets defense is nasty. And I mean that pass rush and those cornerbacks, they're just that good, right? So let's go ahead. So we're starting off. What was this? 4-1, right? The Jets are starting off 4-1, and the Buffalo Bills, right? This is gonna be in MetLife Stadium. It's gonna be at home. This is going to be their biggest challenge after week 1. So obviously 49ers, huge challenge, even without Christian McCaffrey, which was insane. I have Jordan Mason in both of my leagues. And yeah, man, I can't wait to use Jordan Mason next week in my lineups. But Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football game, Aaron Rodgers going up against Josh Allen. And I actually think that Aaron Rodgers and the Buffalo Bills have no business losing this game. I think they're actually going to win this game, and they're going to show. This is the game where they're going to show. Because if you were to look at the schedule, you'd be like, okay, easy win. I guess this should be an easy win, right? Shouldn't be that impressive after this game, during these games. And this is going to be the real test after the 49ers. And I believe that the Jets are actually going to come out on top and beat the Buffalo Bills, and just give it to them. Again, that Jets defense is nasty. The Bills don't have nowhere near the weapons that the 49ers have. So let's go ahead. Let's give it to them. 5-1 here. Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, nah, man. I don't care about that pass rush. I get it. It's there, but Breece Hall's going to do his thing. So let's go ahead. Let's give it to him. Let's go 6-1, right? 6-1. Patriots 7-1. Don't need to say much about it. They're gonna sweep the Patriots, right? So Patriots, so it's right here 7-1, and against the Texans, I'm actually gonna give them an L on this one, man. I mean, the Texans just a really, really good team. They got their shit together. So let's go 7-2, right? So 7-2 here, and then against the Cardinals, right? So let's go 8-2. This is out there in Arizona, so they're going to be 8-2 by week 10. That means they're 3 games away from getting that over 11.5. The Colts, right? Anthony Richardson, he's a dog, but I'm still going to give it to the Jets here. So let's take the Jets to be up here, right? What is this? 9-2 now, 9-2, and then they got the bye week, right? They got the bye week to rest up, and then going to play the Seahawks at home. right? And I actually think they're gonna win this as well. So let's go 10-2, right? So the only two losses that the Jets have is against the 49ers and the Buffalo Bills, according to my calculations, if you will, right? Somewhat calculations. I'm just a rambling man getting on here, just talking ish, right? But and then so we're what 10-2. Going into week 13 or going to week 14, and then they're gonna face the Miami Dolphins in Miami. This will be an interesting one. So against Miami, man, this could go either way. Literally could go either way. But man, this one's hard. This one's hard. I'm gonna go. It's in Miami. I'm gonna go the Dolphins to win this one. So let's go 10-3, right? 10-3, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give it to the Jets right here, right? So what is it? 11-3. Boom. They got it. They got the over 10.5, and I think they're gonna beat the Rams too. So what, 12-3, and then the Bills get one over the Jets, so they tie up the series. What is it? So I think what 13-4, I believe, right? Yeah, 13-4, 13-3, something like that. 13-3, I don't know. And then again, this one right here, I think the Jets will actually beat them. We'll split the series here and beat the Miami Dolphins and get about what 13-14 wins. So I think the Jets could easily get 13-14 wins here. This video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna speed through the Bears here, right? So win one, they already won one against Houston. They're losing that one for sure, right? So they're going 1-1, and then I think the Colts, man, this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna go 1-2. I'm gonna go 1-2, and then I say 2-2, 3-2, right? 4-2, and then they got their bye. And then 5-2 against the Cardinals. I say 6-2 against the Patriots. 7-2, and then they lose to the Packers. Love should be back by then. 7-3. I think the Vikings are gonna. They're in the Bears' home, so I'll say 8-3, and then at Detroit 8-4, 8-5. And then 8-6. I think the Minnesota's gonna win at home. 8-6. And then what is that? 8-6. And then at Detroit, I think Detroit is just gonna beat them. 8-7. And then we go 9-7. And then at Green Bay, I don't know, man. What is that? They could go 8-8 or 9-7. But I have them at over 8.5 wins, right? So this is gonna be a tough one. The Bears are gonna have to pull another one out of their ass of the ones I don't like. But let's go on to it, man. Let's give y'all the play for today. So let me know in the comment section down below what y'all think of that. If you think the Jets and the Bears could get those over wins, right? If you want to look at it again, the Jets need 11 wins, the Bears need 9 wins, right? So let me know. Let me know if you think they are gonna win. Let me know if you don't think they're gonna win, and see what games are gonna be the tough ones for them. But let's go on over. So I think Josh Allen over 38.5 rush yards is money. He got 39 last week or this past week against who they play? I forget, the Cardinals. That's right, 39 in what was a competitive game for them. They were down like 14 points at one point, and I think the same thing's gonna happen on Thursday night, where he's gonna have to, in order for them to win, he's gonna have to do a lot on the ground game and rush for maybe 50 yards. So let's go ahead. Let's look for Josh Allen to get that over 38.5 rushing yards, and we're gonna go ahead and combine that with Jalen Waddle, man. So Jalen Waddle over 63.5 receiving yards. I mean, it's like I said, it's going to be a competitive game, a lot of back and forth. So I could definitely see both Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle cashing this. But, the Buffalo Bills, they could just say, hey, you know what? Anybody could beat us but Tyreek Hill. Just because, Tyreek Hill he wasn't doing much, and then in a second caught a big 80-yard touchdown, right? So we're going to do $25 to win $75 on that one. Josh Allen over 38.5 wins. Jalen Waddle over 63.5 receiving yards. Go ahead, lock that in. I'm putting 25 to win $75. We're going to go ahead and load up the account this week, and we're going to go ahead and give y'all a ton of college football plays. If you want to go ahead and get on my VIP, I'm giving out Saturday college football pass for just $30. That means you get about 10 to 15 college football plays for this Saturday, as well as all my Thursday night football picks. So make sure you go ahead, lock it in. It's only $30 for the week. We're gonna make you a shit ton of money. That's gonna pay that off immediately. All right, everyone, those are the plays for today. Make sure you lock it in, get on the VIP, and I'll see y'all when we're a little bit richer.